Hi, I'm Rebecca Brayton and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And today we're speaking with Canadian politician and NHL Hall of Fame goalie Ken Dryden about Canadian identity in relation to politics and sports. To an extent, we almost tried to rewrite our stereotype with the idea of own the podium in the Olympics. I know you've talked about this. Explain to us basically your take on own the podium.
It's one of those slogans that doesn't necessarily have a literal meaning, but it's a spirit. And it's like, look what we did in the last Winter Olympic Games in Turin. We won more medals than we had won before. We had a lot of 4th and 5th place finishers, a lot of young athletes that were going to get better for the next games. The next games are going to be in Canada. Let's own the podium. And then we weren't winning medals at the beginning. And all of a sudden it becomes this gnashing of teeth, nationally, of where, we overstretched, this isn't us, we aren't the braggarts. Well, then we started to win. You can combine that feeling of a sense of yourself without the strut. Was Gretzky an unfortunate face of winning? I don't think so. What about all those Olympic gold medal winners? Some Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer. Give me a break. They were fantastic.
So it seems we have it right in sports, but not in politics.
It's frustrating. The spirit in Ottawa, there's a nastiness, there's an absence of conversation. It's all abuse and accusation. There hasn't been that kind of compelling story to focus on, something that seems to matter to people, that captures their imaginations, that captures the politicians' imagination and the political parties. If there isn't such a thing, then we end up focusing on each other, and then it's just sniping back and forth. The thing that I think is that bigger story of us, and we talk about it a lot, of the diversity of Canada, but it's a different kind of diversity than other countries that are also diverse. The immigrant coming here has more of an effect on us and on the nature of life in Canada than the immigrant has in the US or the UK. We've gone beyond multiculturalism to really creating a multiculture. And that's what makes us different. It is that kind of interaction that even if one tried to avoid, you can't any longer. It's the challenge of living with each other and of listening, being patient and discussing, but again, creating something. That's pretty unbelievable actually here, and it does make us important in the world. We're the great experiment in the world that way.
Why would you say this issue is important now more than ever?
Everybody is struggling with the idea of a global world, or with the reality of a global world, where you are amongst people where there are differences. It's cultural, it's religious, it's linguistic, it's all of these differences. And how do we deal with it? Historically, countries have not dealt with difference very well. It has led to conflict and bloodshed. That's not good enough. If that is the future reality, given the greater degree of interaction, then we've got a real problem in the world. And climate change, I think, is also a part of that, of where it's not only a matter of new stories for a global world and relationship between countries and people, but a relationship with the planet. And so I think all of these things are coming at the same time, and we're all struggling in the same way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.